Hi, this is Mind's Eye Math, and this is a task to help your student or your child developing some mental math skills. So basically, you will need Power of 10 cards, which you can either purchase online or you can make them yourself. So just in Word, you can do tables and then shade them in. So basically these are cards that have two sets of 1 to 10 shaded in a 10 frame. So the other thing I have here are place value cards, which you will need 1 to 9 with those, and essentially a 10, and what I just do is layer it over top to make 16. Okay, to show that adding with 10 is very easy. Okay, and that's the objective of this very first task. Okay, Roman. Sorry, that was my son. Okay, so basically you're going to find the 10 and you're going to put it on there. And this one's not going to change, so it's going to stay just as it is. And then you're just going to flip a card over. Okay, so you have a 10 and a 6, so you would write 10 plus, I had written this one before, 6, and you can even show them that 10 plus 6 is just 16. So, and they can write that down. And then they would flip over another card, okay, and that one's going to be 10 plus 9, and if they know what 10 plus 9 is, then they can just write it. If they don't, then you can show them with the place value cards. So a 10 and a 9 would be 19. Okay, so and then you'd write that down. So you would fill in the whole page, essentially just generating new questions. So there's a 10 plus a 10, which is then going to be 20. Okay. So then you would move from there on to these ones where you would now have your 9 as being the one that doesn't change. So, and you would be adding with that. Now this one is pretty basic because it's a 9 plus a 10. So this one you could technically skip. You could skip this section because you've already got a 10. There's no need to create a 10 in this question. So that's going to be 19. Or you could write 10 plus 9, same thing, is 19. Okay, so then we put, say, this one there. And the reason it's called moving things with your mind is because in this scenario we're wanting to create a 10. So we would take one of these, and or maybe this one or that one, whichever one, and move it with our minds. You can even get them to touch. I'm taking this one to there. So that is 9 plus 3 turns into 10 plus 2, which is 12, right? And once again, you can show them on the place value cards. So this will create they'll start noticing a pattern that every time, so a 9 plus 5 is going to be 10 plus 4, okay, which ends up being 14. And they'll go, oh my goodness, look how easy it is to add with 9s. Okay, and then you can move on to adding with 8s. So then we would just need to find the 8 card, right? And we would be then putting a number there, and this time we're moving 2 with our minds, so we can get them to use their fingers and physically show which ones they're moving. So 8 plus 4 equals 10 plus 2, because that's all that's left over, and so that would just be 12. And so over time they start to notice that there's a pattern that exists whenever you're adding with certain numbers. So yeah, that is the task, and it goes all the way to 5. And so some of these ones are going to, so this guy, for example, if we were adding with 5, so not all of them are going to be 10s. So we're going to be 5 plus 1, and that ends up being we'd skip this part because we didn't create a 10, so you would have to talk about that. Okay, and then that would end up being 6 because we could move it onto the 10 frame. Sorry, my light is flickering here. That's kind of annoying. Okay, so and then here we could take a 5 and a 5 and move it over there, so that creates, so 5 and 6, 5 and 5 together would create a 10, and I would have 1 left over, so that would be 11. Okay, so just keep getting them to practice doing this in different ways. Will help to develop their mental math skills. Hope this works out well for you. Thanks for listening. Bye.